children, you all are doing great, right? Following our classes, doing work systematically, and you will be awaiting for today's class, right? So let's begin our session. So can you recall the points which we have discussed in our previous classes? We were dealing with the chapter measurements and units. So we have discussed about some of the examples of measurements and units. Then we have discussed about length and its different units. Also we have learned to measure certain lengths such as thickness of a paper, length of a curved line, diameter of a sphere, all these things. So in this class we are going to deal with units of length, or let's get into the topic units of length once again. Now you might have learned about the different units of length, that even in the last class also we have classified the units of length into two, that is smaller units as well as bigger units. That is, we have came across different units of length starting from the smallest unit nanometer to the biggest unit parsec. Here we are using different units to express length. So let me ask a question. If the people are expressing a length in different units, will there be a problem? Of course it will be there, and that's why we have discussed about the difficulties of using different scales in our first class. So here also same thing, we are using different units to express length. So there will be some difficulties. So how do we overcome these difficulties? Here comes the importance of standard units, or in this case we have different units like kilometer, nanometer, micrometer, all these. But the thing is that we have to convert these units into the standard unit. What is the standard unit of length? Meter. So here we have to convert these units into the standard unit called meter. So I am going to teach you about this conversion. So here we have different measurements and we are going to find its value in meter. So listen carefully. Measurements and its value in meter. Value in meter. So first we have 1 kilometer. So what is its value in meter? Already we know 1000 meters constitute a kilometer. 1000 meters constitute a kilometer. So what is the value of 1 kilometer? 1000 meter. Now one more thing, what is the exponential form of 1000? You might have learned about exponentials in mathematics. That is 10 raised to 1 is equal to 10. 10 raised to 2 is equal to 10 into 10, that is equal to 100. Then 10 raised to 3 is equal to 10 into 10 into 10, that is equal to 1000. So here what is the exponential form of 1000? 10 raised to 3. So this will be 10 raised to 3 meter. So this is the simplest form. That's why we are using here 10 raised to 3. So 1 kilometer is equal to 10 raised to 3 meter. Is it clear? Now the next measurement, 1 centimeter. So what is its value in meter? Already we know 100 centimeters constitute a meter. So what about 1 centimeter, or what is this? What is its value in meter? Listen, imagine that you have a stick of length 1 meter. Okay, and you are dividing that stick into 100 equal parts. You have a stick of length 1 meter. You are dividing that stick into 100 equal parts. So this 100 equal parts constitute a meter stick. Okay, now if you are taking a piece out of 100, what is its value? It is 1 out of 100. So how we will express that? centimeter is equal to 1 by 100 meter. Now, again, what is the exponential form of 100? 10 raised to 2. So, here 10 raised to 2 meter. Now, you might have learned in mathematics that is 1 by x raised to n is equal to x raised to minus n. That is, here n is positive. When it goes to numerator, it will become negative. Like that, what about 1 by 10 raised to 2? Here 2 is positive. When it goes to numerator, its value become negative. That is 10 raised to minus 2 meter. So, 1 centimeter is equal to 10 raised to minus 2 meter. Now, the next measurement, 1 millimeter. 1 millimeter. So, we know that 1000 millimeters constitute a meter. 1000 millimeters constitute a meter. But what is the value of 1 millimeter in meter? So, again you imagine that stick of length 1 meter, and here you are dividing that stick into 1000 equal parts. 1000 equal parts. And if you are taking a piece, out of 1000, what is its value? It is 1 out of 1000. So, its value is 1 by 1000. 1 by 1000 of what? A meter. So, 1 by 1000 meter. So, 1 millimeter is equal to, it is 1 by out of 1000. So, again, what is the exponential form of 1000? 10 raised to, yes, 10 raised to 3. So, 1 by 10 raised to 3 meter, that is equal to, then what about this? When this goes to numerator, its value become negative. So, 10 raised to minus 3 meter. So, 1 millimeter is equal to 10 raised to minus 3 meter. Now, what about the next one? Yes, micrometer. 1 micrometer. How we will express this 1 micrometer in meter, or what is its value? The thing is that you have to know this. 10 lakh micrometers constitute a meter. 10 lakh. Listen. 10 lakh micrometers constitute a meter. 10 lakh micrometers constitute a meter. So, here, what about 1 micrometer? In this case, it is 1 by 100. 1 centimeter is 1 by 100. Here, 1 by 1000. So, in this case, what about this? It will be 1 by 10 lakh. So, here, 1 by 10 lakh. 1 by 10 lakh meter. So, what is the exponential form of 10 lakh? How many zeros are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zeros are there. So, it is 1 by 10 raised to 6 meter. That is equal to 10 raised to minus 6 meter. Okay, so 1 micrometer is equal to 10 raised to minus 6 meter. Now, one more measurement is there, that is nanometer. What is the value of 1 nanometer or in meter? Okay, so that I am giving you as a homework. Go through these values once again and do it as a homework. What is the value of 1 nanometer in meter? Here I am giving you a hint, that is later. So try to find out that. Okay, so that's all about this topic. Now let's move to the next topic or next measurement, that is mass. Now we are going to learn about the measurement mass in detail. Mass sounds like a new term, right? Anyway, we can learn about this in detail. So at this point, I would like to recall one example which I have discussed in our first class. That is, if you want to buy some quantity of sugar means you will go to a shop and the shopkeeper will weigh and give you. So just imagine that you want 100 gram of sugar. Okay, you want to buy 100 gram of sugar and you are going to a shop. So the shopkeeper will provide you 100 gram of sugar. But my question is, how he will confirm that he is giving you 100 gram of sugar? For this, he will take a weight balance first, and if you want 100 gram of sugar means he will take a weight block of 100 gram and he will keep it in a pan, and in another pan he will add quantity of sugar. And whenever the quantity of sugar becomes equal to this weight block of 100 gram, the levels of the pans become equal, and in this way he will confirm that he is giving you 100 gram of sugar. So in this case, he is weighing sugar means actually he is weighing the matter present in the sugar. Actually he is weighing matter present in sugar. So what do you mean by matter? Let's consider the case of a chalk. Listen, you know that this chalk is made up of tiny particles which you can't see, right? This chalk is made up of tiny particles. So these tiny particles, that is known as matter. So in the same way, in sugar also some quantity of matter is there, and this quantity of matter is known as mass. So what is mass, or how we can define mass of a substance? Mass of a substance is the measure of quantity of matter present in that substance. How we can define mass? Mass of a substance is the quantity of matter present in that substance. So mass is a reason for weight, but it is not exactly equal to weight. The reason for this that you will be learning in your higher classes. So let me ask you a question. What about the units of mass? How will we express weight in terms of milligram, gram, kilogram, etc. So what about mass? It's the same with mass too. We will express mass in milligram, gram, kilogram, and two more units I would like to introduce, that is ton and quintal. Okay, so just recall what are the units of mass. First one, milligram. Milligram. What about its symbol? mg. Then next one, gram. Gram. What about its symbol? g. Then next one, kilogram. Its symbol is kg. Then two more units, quintal. Quintal and ton. Okay, so these are the units of mass. These are all the units of mass. So let me ask you a question. Which is the smallest unit among these? Which is the smallest unit? Milligram. Which is the biggest unit? Ton. So what about the basic unit of mass? In the case of length, the basic unit is meter, which is expressed by, its symbol is small letter m. Like that, in the case of mass, its basic unit is kilogram. What is the basic unit of mass? Kilogram, and it is represented by kg. Okay, so here also we have different units. We have different units to express mass, like milligram, gram, kilogram, quintal, ton, etc. So here too we have to know the conversion of mass to the standard unit kilogram. So we are going to deal with that. Listen. Measurements and value in kilogram. Value in kilogram. So measurements and value in kilogram. Let's recall the steps that we underwent for length while converting to meter, and let's do this. Okay, so the first one ton. Since it is a unit of ton, it is a unit of mass, 1 ton. What is the value of 1 ton in kilogram? So you have to know this. 1000 kilograms constitute a ton. 1000 kilograms constitute a ton. So 1 ton is equal to 1000 kilogram. So what is the exponential form of 1000? 10 raised to 3. Since 3 zeros are there, 10 raised to 3 kilogram. Then next one, another unit. 1 quintal. Another measurement, 1 quintal. So you have to know this. 100 kilograms constitute a quintal. 100 kilograms constitute a quintal. So 1 quintal is equal to 100 kilogram. So what is the exponential form? 2 zeros are here. So 10 raised to 2 kilogram. 10 raised to 2 kilogram. Now let's consider the another case, that is 1 gram. 1 gram. What is the value of 1 gram in kilogram? So for this you have to know 1000 grams constitute a kilogram. 1000 gram constitutes a kilogram. Here the case is different. So you have to consider an example, that is consider a cake of weight 1 kilo. If you are cutting the cake into 1000 equal pieces, each piece weighing a gram. Each piece weighing a gram. So if you are taking a piece out of 1000 means it is 1 out of 1000 or 1 gram. We are considering 1 gram or we are considering a piece of 1 gram means it is 1 out of 1000. So how we will express 1 gram? 1 by 1000. The cake is of 1 kg. So 1 by 1000 kilogram. So what is the exponential form of 1000? 10 raised to 3. So 1 by 10 raised to 3 kilogram, or this we can write as 10 raised to minus 3 kilogram. Is it clear? Now one more measurement, that is 1 milligram. 1 milligram. Okay, so here you have to know that 10 lakh milligrams constitute a kilogram. 10 lakh milligrams. So how many zeros are there? 6 zeros are there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 10 lakh milligrams constitute a kilogram. That means we have a cake of 1 kg. We are cutting the cake into 10 lakh equal pieces and we are considering a piece of a milligram. So what about its value? That is 1 out of 10 lakh. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 0. 1 by 10 lakh kg. That much small. So that is 1 by, how many zeros are there? 6. So 1 by 10 raised to 6 is the exponential form, or we can write 10 raised to minus 6 kilogram. So that's all about measurements and its value in kilogram. So once again I would like to go through the topic mass. Mass of a body. It's the measure of quantity of matter gram, kilogram is also a unit, then quintal, ton. So which is the smallest one? Milligram. Which is the biggest one? Ton. So that's all about the topic mass. Now let's move to the next measurement, that is time. So here I would like to talk about shadows. See, in our childhood days, we used to observe shadows, or we used to walk by observing shadows. We used to talk with shadows. We used to play with shadows, right? Have you ever observed, have you ever measured the length of shadows? Yes, when it will be too tall at evening. When it will be too short at noon. Why it is too short at noon? Why the shadow is too short at noon? Because at that time, sun is vertically over our head and the shadow is formed at the foot of the object or the person. Right? So here we are dealing with time. Then why we are talking about shadows? Because in olden days, when there were no clocks, no watch, our ancestors used to determine approximate time by observing shadows, by measuring the length of shadows, or they used to determine time by observing the position of sun. Also they have used an instrument called sundial to determine time. So what about night, or during night, how they used to measure time? By observing the position of stars, observing the position of moon, all these things. These were the techniques adopted by our ancestors to determine time. But today we have clocks, we have watch to determine the exact time. Now let me talk about a day, duration of a day. What about the duration of a day? Yes, definitely it is 24 hours. 24 hours. So from this morning to next morning, 24 hours. From this evening to the next evening, that is also 24 hours. Then from this noon to next noon, that is also 24 hours. And the third one, that is the time period from one noon to the next noon, that is known as a solar day. That is known as solar day. Is it clear? So we were dealing with the measurement time. Now let me ask you about the units of time. How you used to express time. We will express time in hour, second, minute, day, week, month, year, etc. So there are different units for time like hour, minute, then second, day, etc. Okay, so what about the basic unit of time? In the case of length, it is meter. In the case of mass, it is kilogram. And in the case of time, the basic unit of time is second. Second is represented by, or its symbol is S. So what about the basic unit of time? That is second. Now let me ask you one thing. A day means, of course you know that a day means 24 hours. So the duration of a day is 24 hours. So what about the duration of a day? That is 24 hours. Or what about the duration of a solar day? That is also 24 hours. Now if you are taking an hour is equal to 60 minutes. An hour means it is equal to 60 minutes, or 60 minutes constitute an hour. Now what about a minute? A minute which is equal to 60 seconds. That is 60 seconds constitute a minute. So here comes the question, how many seconds make a day? Let me repeat, how many seconds make a day? So we can calculate that. A day means 24 hours. Again, an hour means it is equal to 60 minutes. Again, a minute is equal to 60 seconds. How many seconds make a day? That is 24 into 60 into 60, that is 86,400 It is clear that 86,400 seconds constitute a day. So how we can define a second? A second is 1 by 86,400 part of an average day or an average solar day. A second is 1 by 86,400 part of an average solar day